You're listening to PDR Tool Talk, all about PDR stories, tools, and techniques.
For the thousands in attendance, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Welcome to another episode of PDR Tool Time with your hosts, Vince D'Alessandro, John Hiley, Daniel Grom, and the one and only Myke Toledo. What's happening, everyone?
What's going on?
Hey.
Yeah.
Your world for the next 45 to 60 minutes. We're going to drop some knowledge bombs on you and tell you a little bit about what's going on in the world today in PDR. And we're going to talk about a couple tools that we've had for a while. And we're also going to do a little talk about wholesale market. So
And now I can see, John, you're all excited about, you got some new ink.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I just got my hand done. So appreciate you bringing that up again, Daniel.
we all know that John is many.
Well, it's a weekly thing now. I think it's an episode. It's like it's got its own thing.
Oh man, the devil's work is addictive.
Yes. And John has right. He does a lot of different things.
And you got a pink pony or something on your hand? What'd you get?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I got a unicorn actually.
A pink unicorn.
That's because everybody tells me that I'm a unicorn. I don't know why.
He's getting his new uniform ready for his new gig.
Yeah. No, I actually got this crazy looking lion. I might share it here eventually. I haven't put it on Facebook or anything like that. So, but I wanted to close off my one arm. You know what I mean? So that was fun. And for all you guys out there who get tattoos, the hand really wasn't that bad. Actually, the neck wasn't bad because I got my neck done, and then my hand, it wasn't that bad either. Probably two of the easiest spots.
Now, have you guys watched the movie Moana?
Moana.
I used to date a girl named Moana, but yeah, I seen that.
So in that, if you get this DVD and the extras, they talk about how they made the movie, and they go to Samoa, and they show a guy getting a traditional Samoan tattoo, where it's basically a thorn in a twig. They dip it in some ink, and then they hammer it on the guy, and they show it being done. I think you should go to Samoa and have that done. That really would show what a man you are.
Yeah, whatever. Oh man, yeah. Actually, yeah, I probably would do that if I was in Samoa. I mean, you'd have to do that. You know what I mean?
Actually, you have to have
island
to even do it.
What's that?
You have to have permission from the elders to even have a tattoo done.
Oh gosh, dang man, you know a lot about this, dude.
Yeah, you have to actually, it's planned out. Your whole life is planned out, and that's like part of your tribe.
Now, do you have any tattoos, Daniel?
I do not. I have scars. I collect scars.
Come on, dude.
Lots of badges.
You got a tramp stamp on the back of your back. I've seen it.
That's me.
Is that Vince?
Yeah.
I got.
I didn't know which one was on top of each other when I caught you guys that one time. Hanging out.
I've been actually. You know what I've been working on?
Was Vince on top, dude. Daniel, you're a catcher.
I'm lighter.
You son of a gun. I thought you were more of a pitcher.
Oh snap!
I've been working on.
Oh, the show just went into the toilet, man. How did that happen?
I've been working on a new invention that you'll like. It's ink that only lasts a year.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't like that. Actually.
And then you have to have your tattoo redone. Then you can
to make sure you like it.
Continuously have new tattoos all the time.
All right, so
left.
Yeah. Actually, John, I thought you were working towards your new gig. That's why you're getting all the tattoos. Aren't you going to be a carny next year or something like that?
The dude that does my lettering, you guys seen him, man. He looks pretty wild. So, but I'll tell you a funny story. He walked in the Speedway the other day, and the girl working behind the counter looked up at him, and she just immediately, she goes, "That is so stupid."
Wow.
And yeah, he stopped, and he had the exact change. He was getting like a Mountain Dew or something. He slammed it down the counter. He looked at her and he goes, "At least I don't work at Speedway." And turned around.
That's stupid. Speedway.
Yeah. So
Well, there's got to be some psychology behind getting that much ink. Besides just liking it.
Nah, I just like it, man. You know how it is. Yeah. You got something that's beautiful. You want to decorate it, dude.
True.
All right.
And here's the deal. I put as much ink on my wife because that's just what I like, dude.
I don't know. I saw that video of Angela getting that neck tattoo, and I'm like, I don't think Angela's enjoying that right now.
No, she loves it, dude. She sits better than I do. She loves it. And I don't know, dude. I'm into like tattooed girls, dude. I'll just be decorating that up.
No, you're into No, hold on. You better say that again. You're into a tattooed girl.
But, so, I'll be real with you. And I'm planting flowers in my yard. You know what I mean? So that's an investment for me, man. There you go.
John, people are going to have to replay that again just to see what you mean again, dude.
Yeah, that's right. I like it like that. It's mysterious, man.
Yeah. All right, so what's crack-a-lackin'?
What's going on?
Your eyes are mysterious now because now you're not wearing glasses and you have these big, brown, mysterious eyes to show off.
That's right. I'm going to stare through your soul, son.
You're so handsome.
Soul gazing, dude.
You're so handsome, dude.
Are you guys all going to rape me when next time we see each other?
I wish I could rub my fingers through your beard.
This is getting pretty intense, fellas. I'm starting to sweat.
All right, so what's crack-a-lackin', Vinny?
Okay, old news really quick. All right, last episode was episode 84, and we were talking about the importance of PDR tool companies needing to stay innovative and coming out with new tools, talking to techs on the street, out in the field, and getting new ideas. It was an excellent episode. I hope everyone is tuned into it because I thought it was great. We showcased awesome. Dentcraft and what we liked at Dentcraft. It was an education in itself.
It was. It definitely was.
Mm-hmm. So, you guys have any follow-up on that episode that you might have missed out on and want to share?
No,
I can't remember anything I say, dude. I just forget like everything I say, and then I never re-listen to it. I mean, I was there.
When you're there,
I just don't, dude. I don't re-listen to our podcast because I'll start critiquing everything I say.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Somebody said I yelled at my kids the last podcast, and I didn't take that off.
Get out of here!
They go, I've never seen you ever get upset, Mike. I was like, what? What are you talking about, man?
You're human,
dude. Like you have any type of kid, you're going to get upset, man. You're going to see stuff that comes out of you that you've never seen before, dude. So
yeah, there's frustration sometimes. Yeah.
She's only 5, Mike. I don't care.
Hey, Mike, do you have an Amazon Echo?
No, you keep bugging me about that, but
so check this out. So I have Amazon Echo Dots in all the bedrooms now, and so all I have to do is say, Alexa, drop in on Megan, and it's an intercom system.
No way.
So when you ask them to come up for dinner, we have it upstairs, downstairs. I just intercom them, say dinner's ready. And I don't have to yell anymore. It's like the best thing.
I don't have to yell. Now, didn't I tell you to do your homework?
So what's happening in Facebook news out there, Vince?
Facebook news. All right. Well, the big topic this week is our poor fellow technicians and people on this planet in Houston, Texas. You're underwater.
Yeah. So Derek Bradshaw posted, if you guys saw that, he posted him trying to get to his house, and he had 2 guys in a kayak, making sure he gets there, and he's waiting. He's holding a ice chest to float with, and he's up to his chest. As he gets to his house, I guess it goes uphill a little bit, and it got a little bit shallower. He goes into his house, and it's up to his waist inside his house. So I ended up reaching out and calling him, and he called me, and he gave me a little bit more on the story. So, they knew they were going to get flooded. Well, but they didn't have a lot of time. So they just barely had enough time to get a lot of their belongings upstairs. But he didn't have enough time to get out. And when he did get out, they took one vehicle. He left his work vehicle. He had a brand new Transit with all of his tools in it. and the whole van, he went back today, the whole van is underwater, the whole complete van. So luckily he's got stainless steel tools, but he bought a brand new limited back light. That's gone, I'm sure. His drills, all your electronic kind of stuff. He lost his phone. So he lost a lot of things, but he's got a lot of great family support. He got back and they're doing control flooding. So they're letting water out of the levee so it doesn't break. He got there just minutes before they release more water, and he was able to save his wedding album.
Yeah.
And that's his only thing his wife wanted. And it was like within an inch of going underwater. And he just got there in time to save his wedding album. So he made his wife happy.
I'm actually training a student that is from Houston, and his family got evacuated. So you can imagine the concentration he has this week, trying to finish out his last week while his family was being got into that crazy flood. So.
And he wasn't
also a guy's Wade Hartley is in Houston.
Yeah, Wade's in there.
And him and Marissa got stuck at a church like when it first went down like a couple days ago or whatever. So we were my wife was she follows Marissa on Snapchat, and she was kind of like Snapchatting everything, and they actually had a neighbor come get them, and they had a bigger truck and drove them to their house. So they got to their house.
That's good.
And but I'm not sure the state of what's happening right now with them, really.
Yeah, I talked to Wade the other day. He's okay. He's a little bit cabin fevered out. His wife and kids all in the house. They can't really go anywhere. I've also been in contact with Hudson Tanny.
Yeah, same here. Yeah.
He's in North Houston. He's okay. He's been all right, but he's stir crazy as well and not able to go to work. Because most of us, business owners, we want to be out there working. We don't want to be stuck in the house with our wives and kids, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But like these guys didn't have flood insurance. Most of these guys don't have flood insurance because they weren't in flood zones. So they're not. Yeah, they're not going to get compensated.
Hey, not to mention most time
it's months away from being resolved. I mean, they're going to be flooded for a month.
Dude, most of the time, even when people have flood insurance, they're way underinsured. Like the insurance policy start at like $2,000, dude, and that's like maybe one room if the floor gets wet. And so that's something for everybody out there to realize, because we upped our flood insurance to I think our flood insurance cleared to like $30,000 or something like that, and it wasn't much more to do that. And when you get a good insurance agent, they'll suggest things like that, things they see, claims they see.
Yeah.
The other thing too, they were saying on NPR that there's over 300,000 cars damaged in this flood.
I know we can't take soggy dings out though. So
no. So what I know usually with floods they just get totaled.
Yeah.
Cars get
because of the mildew, all that stuff.
Well, you'll see a bunch of scammers try to bring those cars to California.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at the oil, and the oil's milky white. The engines are ruined.
Yeah.
So it's pretty devastating, and our hearts go out to them. And Anson has with Dense Solutions. Dense Solutions out of Texas is doing it. They're bringing down a whole bunch of supplies and everything down to Houston, and Anson is one of the places that you could drop off goods and supplies. And Dense Solutions out of Texas will be picking them up and taking them over to the communities down there in Houston.
Oh, that's good. That's awesome.
Yeah, help out if you can. To these guys, reach out to them and do what you can. Play our part. Be part of the PDR community brotherhood.
Yep.
So, all right. So let's move on. Let's shift gears a little bit. And our best go out to everybody in Houston, man.
Yep. You guys want to get on to our topic here? One of our topics, which Daniel.
So I listened to the recent podcast with Paul Corden, and they were talking about pricing and how one of the things I thought was interesting. He talked about moving all of his wholesale work. He bills them with retail pricing and then gives the discount. And the reason he's doing that is he's educating all of his wholesale account what retail prices are. and then giving them the discount. So if they do a referral to him, they know what retail pricing is, because we've all been there where, oh yeah, Joe at ABC Motors referred me to you, said you do a dent for $75. And you're like, no, that's his price. And that awkward conversation. So if you do it Paul Corden way, hit all your wholesale dealers with retail prices. And if you're doing it electronically, it's much easier to do. If you've got Mobile Tech RX, it's much easier to
and I agree, Daniel, 100%, because that was a huge tool for me at a dealership. When we had hail, they were expecting us to do it super cheap. I wrote the hail estimate, then I gave them the discount on top of that. So, and I wouldn't have even been able to have a starting point without something, that type of app, or that with Mobile Tech RX. It's just super powerful. And I think that's part of the formula. If you are going to go that route, you need something like that behind you to use.
But the one thing I think is missing, and this is what I kind of want to talk about, what you guys think, is how do you handle, so let's say you have two dealers next to each other. One dealer is really strong, and he's giving you 20 cars a month, let's say. Pick a number out of my hat. And the dealer next door, he's only giving you 5 cars a month, right? But they're both getting the same wholesale discount, whatever that is for you guys. And I think we need to have a shift in that thinking, in that, you should get a certain discount for 1 to 5 cars. And then from 6 to 10 cars, it's a little bit bigger discount, and so on, all the way up to whatever your max discount is. What's your thoughts on that, guys?
Well, I think it is a good base to start with, but I think you and I were talking about this earlier, and John was saying the same thing. It's such an uphill battle with these accounts. It's one thing that you have a good relationship with them, but it's another thing if you want to just switch out a different price structure with them. If you're not dealing with the owner, it's a really, really steep hill to go up and deal with. I have one very low wholesale account, but they give me volume a lot. But on the other hand, I got another one that I pretty much charge whatever I want, but I still make the same.
Let me ask you this: on that account that you have, do you have rules based off of? You have some kind of limit on the size,
we do.
Right?
Yeah, we do.
Okay. Now I'm wondering if other guys do that. I would imagine they do.
I think they do, honestly, because I'm not doing those accounts. So
if it goes over a certain size, then what kind of pricing do you do?
I've started at $100 minimum. I mean, it's a minimum $100 dent for credit card size and that's a soft dent. It really depends, Daniel. I mean, it depends.
I mean, do you try to hit them pretty hard though on a bigger dent, a harder dent?
Honestly, I don't even want to try to do the bigger dents, because it's just one of those battles where they want to, first of all, they don't want to pay anything. Then they want to argue with me about how much I want to charge them. It's just, that's why I don't go out and get new accounts, because it's not that I don't believe in my sales skills. I just don't want to deal with how much you charge. It's not even how good are you, how long you've been doing it. It's how much you charge, because my guy can do a whole car for $35. I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, yeah, you're going to go out there and try to compete with that and show them your quality. But again, do you have the time to sit there and do that? Wouldn't you rather, to me personally, focus on the retail market and put more effort and get 10 times more return out of the retail market than the wholesale? That's just me. Some guys, I know a guy like Jeremy Carroll, for instance. That guy can sell ice cubes to Eskimos. That guy is just a sales person. But that's his forte. John's the same way. He can sell, but me personally, I sell retail. I'm a very good tech at.
But I think we should talk specifically for the guys that are doing just dealers and
yeah, no, but that's why I don't go into. That's why me personally, I think me and John were talking earlier. I think it's a freaking losing battle, man. But But if you're going to structure something, I think what we're talking about right now, I think it's great that if you can come up with a system to where if you're getting a new account and you're setting it up from scratch, and you can get them to understand what how retail is based, I think it's a win. But that's going to be a tough sell, man. And I think a lot of techs would agree with me on that.
So I think, in my opinion, wholesale to me is for the individuals who don't know marketing, who do not want to get into marketing, who do not want public relations. Okay. Because there is that type of individual who does not want that. They do not want to learn how to market. They just want to go out and they want to do their job. It's more for a technician who wants to treat this as a job model than a business model, because it's really hard to scale in the automotive dealership market for the simple reason there's not enough money to scale there. And one of the bigger problems is I would hate to be a new technician, a 1-year technician going in and doing car dealer work. I mean, number one, you're getting bottom barrel prices. I can make wholesale work, right? Any really skilled technician can make it work because we can knock out a shitload of cars.
Yeah, but that's you want to play that game. I mean,
you gotta play that game,
yeah,
dude.
I can change. How much you charge? Well, how much did your guy charge? He charged me $50. All right, do for 45. Okay, you're hired, and you're not even really fixing the dent. Honestly, you're fixing it to about 80%.
So I know for sure that the Dayton area here, all the really big accounts around here are at $35 per whole car. And I do think that there's a lot of stuff that gets overlooked based on the just my car buying. Like when I'm out buying cars, I'll look around at some of the used things and I'm like, I know that this guy services this account and there's a lot of dents left on the lot, right? So anything,
So this is how I think we change this is one, are you guys friendly with every dent tech in your city or in your immediate area?
I'm friends with most of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you try to educate them? Do you try to get their prices up?
We do. We all
Vince,
do.
You're shaking your head no.
It would depend on the situation, dude, because there's some people out there who just can't take any type of constructive feedback on their business model. And there's some people I've found, there's some guys that just get dramatically offended right off the bat. But then there's also a giant group. I mean, Dennis Kelly is here in my local area. I mean, he trained with that Keith Chaparro or whatever back, 25 years ago. We got Kyle, the Dent Wizard tech who placed second in the Dent Olympics is here in my local area. These guys get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's a good handful of I'll tell you, there's a dude that drives around here like a renegade. I mean, he's the one doing everything at $35 a car. I mean, it just literally it got down to the point to where one guy went in and is doing it for 50. Next guy, just like Myke said, went in and offered 45 and then got all the way down to where it is today. And I mean, here's the stupidity behind that, Daniel. Think about this. I met a guy who just mixes paint touch up, walks up to the car and hits it with a brush. He doesn't even sand it down or any of that crap. He just walks around the lot and does touch ups. He's making $65 a car. And we got an individual who learned.
Same here, Vin. Same here.
We got an individual who learned dent removal and let himself get beat down to $35 a car.
Yeah. Yeah.
So here's something I would like to put out there. This is what I started doing years and years ago. Is I started to charge a first panel charge. So if I come onto the lot, I'm charging more for that very first panel for that very first car.
Hey, Daniel, screw you. I got a guy who just came in yesterday, says he'll do it for $35 a car.
I understand that, but you got to educate your other guys. Are you happy? I go to that guy that's charging that and say, hey, are you happy with your stature of are you making a living? Are you really happy with making the money you want, or do you want to make more money?
And I hope people are listening really good, because this is how I feel. In 1999, 2000, I saw this coming way ahead before it was really going to take the dump of the wholesale.
Dude, yeah.
I personally, I will never go solicit another account ever again in my whole PDR career. Ever again. There's not, I can put just as much effort and get 10 times more return, like I said earlier, doing retail. and people who appreciate it. And I don't want to be treated like dirt. I don't want to have to worry about showing up 1 week and I get fired because some cheaper dude came in, or some, not to mention, like a team of guys who say, yeah, they can do every car for $150, including the bumper repair, the dent repair, the windshield repair, all that crap. And then come called back. And then it's just, I don't like to deal with that personally. I mean, I know we're trying to help those guys out in the wholesale to raise their prices, but you guys got a big hill to climb. And, so that's why we're talking, but that's just me personally. If you call me a bad attitude, I mean, that's just the way why I treated. I chose to go this route.
Have you guys ever seen that look when you walk into a manager's office with your list and they just sit there and look at their computer and ignore you like you're not even there?
Yeah, dude.
Oh yeah.
The old manager, like, I'm just looking at my computer. You're standing there for like 3 minutes and you're sitting there like, oh, you think, sir, could you ever maybe take a look at my list here? Dude, I can't handle that stuff anymore. I'll snap.
Yeah.
But if you look back just a couple years ago at what we used to charge for retail, and as soon as we all started listening to Paul Corden getting the prices he's getting, it raised all of our prices.
I get that, but that's
I think that can happen in the wholesale.
I personally don't think
it needs to.
I don't think it's going to happen, dude. I mean, I call me a bad.
Hey.
That's the only part. I'm very optimistic on a lot of stuff, but good luck getting it out there because there's going to be. Hold on, John. There's going to be guys out there that will always be the low ball, and you're not going to change those guys. And you can have the low balls in the retail, but there's people who actually want the high quality, and that's why retail is always going to dominate the best dollar for PDR. You go to wholesale. Go ahead, John. Sorry.
I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry.
I'm just on a rant, dude. I'm like,
yeah,
I like the idea.
I want to add to your rant on top of that, Myke, and I'm going to kick it right back to you, but I want you to realize something too. There's the second element on that is that there's a manager there that has to go tell his boss that his prices for his dents just went up by $10 a panel.
Yeah,
okay. So there's a stack there. And then not to mention when you're working in a car dealer, they know how much they pay you per week.
I got a question for Daniel too. Daniel, how many accounts you do? Like dealership accounts?
No, I'm down to just a couple body shops now.
Okay. Why don't you want
zero?
Do you want any? Do you want any more dealer accounts?
No.
Why not? Why not?
Why?
Because my whole goal was to get to this point.
Yeah,
And
you got it great. Yeah, I know.
So I'm finally here. Yeah. But I feel like if we can improve that market, it helps out our retail market.
Yeah. I'm probably going to get a private message from Paul. Myke, let me just sit you down.
Yeah.
Vince,
if we all band together, we all stick.
But you got to go, like, okay, if you're competing against that guy, then you better go out there and take pictures of his finished work and point it out to your dealer. Okay, yeah, I can do a whole car for $35. This is the kind of work you're going to get. If you don't give a fuck, if you don't give a shit, then if this is what you want to pay for, this is what you'll get.
They don't, dude, because all they wanted is good enough to hide it from the average Joe.
Let me explain how it works here. I'm a manager, and the dealership says, Myke, I want you to save me as much money as you can in the dealership, in the recon. Now, part of that money that you save is going to be your bonus. Okay? So what do? You look for the cheapest guy, but he does okay work, but enough to get it out the door. That's how they work. You know, they don't care about the quality, the top. If you're the top best PDR tech in the world, they care about, are you a mediocre tech that can actually get me to pass and sell this car? So,
dude, that's a numbers game right there. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's a numbers game.
It always will be.
Yeah, they're not in love with them cars, you know. And there's even picky people that buy cars that have chewed up dents on them, and then they find them like a month later.
It's going to be an interesting topic because I want to bring Paul here, and I know Paul. He's got good answers for everything, and this is what this is set up for.
If you show up on time every time, and you're reliable, and you do great work, and you're consistent, and you're good at creating a relationship with that dealer, and move your prices up every year a little bit.
I agree.
Move on to the next one.
Let's get Vince in there. What do you want, Vince? Vince,
I'd rather pour acid on my eyeballs than step on.
I'm right with you, dude.
That's like you said, you've built this retail business, so you don't have to step in it.
That's right.
There's no dealer loyalty at all. The only time I step into a used car lot or service drive is to fix someone else's mistake that they've messed up, and that happens quite often. But it's not. I'm doing them a favor. You know, that it turns out to be okay. I'm a nice guy. Yeah, I'll come and help you out, but I'm charging you full retail and a trip fee on top of it. But I don't think here in Southern California we have Ding King, we have Right Look down in San Diego, we have another one. What's the other one, Mike, up here in Orange County? So these training mills that are just sitting here pumping out technicians after technicians. And when you leave one of those schools, the first thing you want to do is try to make your money back. And where do they go? They go to the dealerships. They're not going to the body shops. They're not going to do retail. Some of them might attempt to do retail, but they get out of it really quick. And so you have this
Superior. That's the other one.
Superior Auto Institute. And, you know, I was just trolling around on Ding King's Instagram today, and they took a picture of their current techs, and there was like 15 guys that they're putting out there. And that was just, I think Ding King, it's a week-long training or 2 weeks. So if you figure out those numbers of how many techs are being pumped out into California, Ohio, you know, because they come from all over the place, but the vast majority of them are coming from here. That's my competition in the wholesale market. And I'm not going to compete with that.
There's 20 guys that have been trained by Ding King in my area. Not one of them does dent removal today.
True. They have a very low.
Yeah, but here's what Vince's point is that they're going out doing the damage, even though they're never going to make it in PDR, but they're the ones that are lowballing, continuing the lowball. You know, I'm just look. If you have a choice, guys, and and you're still in the wholesale, and you still want, you should. If you're this long doing PDR, you should have been building your retail business long time ago. And if you haven't, this is what these podcasts are for. PDR College is freaking giving you super good advice. We give you good advice. Start getting off the freaking wholesale. Stop doing it. Go for the body shops and the retail, and stop sucking up on the freaking wholesale. It's
Mike,
pointless.
That's why we created the Mega Media event.
That damn straight.
That is exactly why it was created. You read the script of the Mega Media event, it basically goes to, hey, I had a bunch of car dealers. All the prices got lowered. The economy tanked. It was unsafe, and then boom. And then we go into the retail market. And that's how the Mega Media event, the idea was born, was to pull people who want to get out of the wholesale industry and inject themselves into the retail industry. Speaking of that, we had a couple of our guests, one of our guests, but Dwayne was here too, but Crystal and Dwayne. I want to tell you guys a little bit about their situation, okay? So they're up in Midland, Michigan, and they had car dealers not only kind of balking back if they wanted to raise their price for a bigger dent, but the car dealers were watching their Facebook page and seeing that they were selling push metal gear and seeing that they were getting out there and trying to get retail business. And some of them got upset and like jealous about it and fired them because they're just doing a little too much.
Oh gosh. Yeah, that's total jealous right there. Totally.
So not only to the point to not only were they're not going to pay you, but then they don't want to see you succeed at anything else because they're so insecure that they think that you're going to get success in some other area and just leave them.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Well, you don't need them then.
Yeah,
The only wholesale I do nowadays is body shops. You know, and thanks to Mobile Tech RX, I'm getting top dollar at body shops now because now a lot of my body shops, I'm now charging for R&I. You know, because they're going on in the insurance company. And for years, we've never charged for R&I to take a taillight out or take a door panel off or do something like that. You throw it on, they're like, we don't care. We're just marking it up 30% anyways. Whatever your bill is, we get 30% on top of your bill.
Yeah.
So,
and they're used to it.
It's the best raise I've ever gotten.
Mobile Tech RX, yes.
Yes. But the next update, which I just talked to Eric, is coming in September. It's going to be huge. They're going to be adding parts to. I think I can tell everybody that, hopefully, but they're going to be adding parts. So you're going to be, if you want to replace a tail light or something like that, you'll be able to get the part number and that kind of stuff.
That's way cool.
But they're going to have Paul Corden's price guide on there, and they're going to have Big Dent pricing on there.
And Tactical price guide is on there as
Tactical,
well.
yeah.
And they are going to be at the Mega Media event too. So they'll be breaking that down on one of the days of the seminar. So
Well, you can't
I'm
advertise
so excited about that.
The Mega Media event because it's closed. It's sold out. There is no room.
Well, we and John were thinking about letting a few more people in, but we're not sure. Honestly, we're not sure. So
you don't want it too big because
no,
We're still thinking about it.
it'd be hard to manage.
Yeah, did you tell them how many we got? 30 attendees is what we blocked it off at this time around.
Yeah.
So, and we knew that when we launched it, we said we got 30 spots for, and that's it,
Yeah.
But yeah, we think we might have room for 5 more, but we've been kicking it around. We haven't decided if we want to do that or not.
Yeah. Well, no. Back to the wholesale. I would never step into a used car lot again. I just won't do it.
why? You got so much good thing going on for you. You got a shop. You got your mobile thing going on. You got your paint repair business. You got your retail. I know what you guys are. I know what you're saying, though, Daniel, and I know why you brought this up and things like that. I'm just trying to say I'm one of those guys that just like I absolutely hate wholesale. I absolutely hate it.
I'm right with you, dude. I had a guy who I fixed his car, I don't know, like 6 months ago, and we did the repair on it. And when he came and got it, he goes, I'm a car dealer and this and that. I mean, he paid full retail and all that stuff on it. He says, well, I'm a car dealer. I looked at him and said, I'm glad you never told me that when you called. I probably wouldn't have called you back.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have. If he would have said that in the message, if he left me a message and said he was a car dealer, he would not have received a call back from me. I don't even waste my time.
Let me ask you guys this. Have you ever fired a car dealer?
Oh yeah. I left about 60 of them behind and went and chased tail. So I didn't even call and tell anyone.
No, I mean, like, no.
Told them off, you mean?
Told them off and you say, I'm never doing any work for you.
Yeah.
Isn't that a good feeling?
Yeah.
And honestly, I think that's one of the best ways to raise your prices is when they call you back, because they will call you back eventually. Yeah, they'll
well, if you tell them off in a professional way where you kind of leave the ball on their court, yeah. But if you tell them to F off and and your mother and all that crap, yeah, you ain't getting it back. So.
Well, I did do that. I told this guy I'd never work for him again, and it took 2.5 years, but he did call me back, and he called me back and he goes, I forgive you. And I went,
kiss my ass, dude.
I went, that's fantastic. I'm still not going to do work for you, but I could have easily come back there and given him a lot higher prices.
He must have really needed a dent guy if he called to say forgive to you.
Yeah.
I had a guy, Daniel, as soon as our local hailstorm hit here in 2011, this car dealer who left me for a cheaper guy called me when the hailstorm hit. Dude, I took the phone call just so when he says, yeah, man, we need somebody to come out and, look around our lot and all this. I started laughing for so hard and so long that it got uncomfortable on the phone call. Like I just busted out laughing. I was like, so dude, you just called me when you know that a hailstorm dropped and you want me to come look at your cars? I'm like, right. Dude, where was you for the last 2 years, man? Well, yeah, it's because your dude left, right? Yeah. Well, guess what? This ain't never happening again. That was fun.
Sorry, John. I was reading my text. Sorry.
I got so busy with retail that one of my detail shops that I built over years and actually serviced them for 15 years. The average, we probably did about $25,000 a month out of a detail shop. I'm sorry, not a month, $25,000 a year out of one detail shop, which is considerable because they were doubling everything we were charging. And he would be slow pay. And finally I said, dude, you know what? You don't respect me. We're done. After 15 years, I have no desire to come into this shop ever again. Find someone else.
It felt good, huh?
It felt good.
Did he call you back?
He just referred me a job today, and I haven't stepped foot in about
Hey,
a year and a half.
you guys, I want to get something straight. No disrespect to the guys who are out there busting their ass and they're making a big living and good living doing their wholesale.
Sure.
I'm just saying, my thing is you got to keep planting seeds. You can't expect that your account's going to be there. Every year I've had an account for 25 years now going on. This will be my 25th year I've had this account, and there's not one day or 1 week that goes by and that I don't appreciate having that account, that my text service. But it still is always on my mind that once in a while they want to do in-house. They want to do this. It's just, I don't feel like I ever am at peace when I have accounts, and I don't like that feeling, you know? I'm sure a lot of you guys feel the same way, or gals. So my advice and this is a tech tip right here. My advice is don't ever stop trying to get into the retail market and plant your seeds, because one day you're going to need to go to that tree, you know? But my main thing is just don't put all your eggs in one basket, especially with the wholesale market.
That's exactly where I was going to go, Myke, is diversify, like your friggin' retirement fund. Do not have all your eggs in one basket. If you're out there doing wholesale, you better have some retail. You better have some body shops. You better have some detail shops, because the dealers have no loyalty. If you drop one, you better be able to go and pick up another one. And if you drop 10, you don't want to be out of business. You want to be able to have your retail and your body shops to carry you over.
So I got kind of a hard question for you guys. And this is a question that I get asked a lot from technicians that are like new guys. You know what I mean? Like a year, 2 years, even a 4-year technician reached out to me the other day and asked this question. If you were going into dealerships, you were looking to pursue that, how would you figure out how much to charge them? Would you look at what's going on in your current market and match that? I mean, what would you do to penetrate into car dealers if that was part of your business plan?
I wouldn't want to know. Honestly, I wouldn't want to know, because it would just make me stand out even more. Honestly.
Yeah.
I would really try to nail down the dealer on how much volume, you know, if they're asking, what do you charge? I would really nail down the dealer on, okay, what kind of volume are we talking about? Because the more volume,
get that
bigger
far.
discount.
Yeah.
You know, you really got to establishing boundaries. And when, you know, car dealers, you know, they got big egos. And if you don't stand your ground and act tough from the get-go, if they think they can walk on you, they'll
agree.
walk on you for the rest of your work days, you know. So establishing some equal ground is so important, I think.
How do you open an account? What's your guys' advice? What would your strategy be? You walk in, you see a manager. How are you approaching them?
I could tell you exactly what my strategy was to land 70 car dealers in probably a 2-month time period.
Go for it. Let me hear it, John. Bust it out.
Okay, so here's what I would do. I would go ahead and walk around their entire lot. I would do what Daniel said. I would find every dent that was hacked, and then I would also find any dent that was left behind, right? I would walk into the car lot manager. I would already have my list prepared. I'd already walked the lot before I even talked to him. And then when I walked in there, I'd never wear my logos or anything like that. I'd act like a customer. I'd jump in cars. I'd sit down and all that stuff. And I always knows the general sales manager's name. I'd say, hey, is Joe there? And, you know, is Joe around? And eventually they'd take me back to his office or whatever. I'd walk in there, be like, hey, man, I'm John Hiley with Dent Magic. Look, I went ahead and walked your entire lot. And look, I'm not trying to take like whatever your current dent guy, you know, is doing here. I'm just saying there's a lot of stuff out there on the lot that I know that he's not fixing. And I want to go ahead and drop a repair cost for all of this stuff for you and just give me, you know, a couple minutes to go ahead and show you what I would charge for these type of dents. I know that he's not fixing them. And again, I just want to reinforce, I'm not trying to take anything from a guy you've had coming here for years. I just want to fix anything that he can't fix. And then as I proceeded to go through that list, I would drop down everything that I could fix. And now this is where, guys, you have to have a strong repair capabilities. So, I mean, I can fix about anything, you know, that can be fixed that's thrown at me. So I'm out there, you know, dropping prices for like big nasties and all this kind of stuff, right? And then occasionally I'd get to one and I would say, you know, I said this one right here on this left door on this Ford Taurus, it looks all chopped up. And I would never blame it on their dent guy. I'd say the auction guy must have got a hold of it before it got to your lot. And I'm going to go out there and I'm just going to clean that one up for free because I don't like things like looking like that, you know. It's just bad for our industry and stuff like that. People will think there's like water corrosion or something like that in your car. I heard one guy say that it was a Katrina car. You know what I mean? When he seen a dent that looked like that. And that was back when Hurricane Katrina just came through. You know what I mean? So
Right.
we're conscious about buying them cars like we're talking about Austin. So I would attack like that, and I would continuously come back every week. And then what I would do is as soon as I penetrated, okay, and I'm going to say what Jeremy Carroll said, okay, so this isn't a PG podcast. Jeremy Carroll, Myke was talking about him being the best salesman. But when I talked to him, he said when he almost has his dick in it. and see, that's where I would be at that point, right? I almost have it in there, right? And I'd come back the next week and bam, I would just hit them again with the same thing. But then I would notice if there was repairs I had on my previous list that were attempted to fix and they looked all chewy and chopped up, I would bring them to their attention again and just say, yeah, I would act like I totally forgot. The auction guy did it. Never blame it on the guy that's on the lot. Always point it to the auction guy. And then continuously say that you want to do the stuff that he can't fix or is not fixing, okay? And then when they let you in, because they will let you in eventually, be like, hey, man, I'm going to do this big nasty one for free. Pull it around back, knock it out in 15, 20 minutes, pull it up front, and then they're going to be like, why is my guy not doing that, right? It took this guy 15, 20 minutes to do that one, right? Pull it around front, min it out, right? And then all of a sudden, once you get your tools out in that lot and they let you fix one car, you are in, okay? Now, you still got to play the game like you're not here to take over everything, right? But you really are. So what you start doing is you start finding out the days that he shows up. You start finding the days they get the most trade-ins. You start finding the days that they go to the auctions. And you try to circle the days where they hit the most cars coming in. And eventually, he's going to notice that the ones he's not fixing are being repaired, okay? And eventually, he's going to get pissed off. He's going to get jealous. It's mental warfare. And you know what? Some of you guys out there might be shaking your head, but you know what? Business is business, man. I played sports growing up. I wrestled with people that were my best friends, and I tried to rip their heads off. And anybody who takes offense to you attacking something is just being a girl. You know what I mean? In business, your goal is to dominate the entire world. You know what I mean?
Well, John, I think what I like about what you said is, and I think it's true, is you really need to be persistent. That's number one. If you want to get an account, you got to be persistent. Sometimes once a week might be too much, but 2 weeks or once a month showing your face, I think is good. But you really need to make it clear to the manager that you can save their ass. That's basically what it is. And
Myke, I would get forceful.
Yeah, no, I mean, literally, I mean, like, look, I know one day, sir, you might need me, and I do really good work. Especially, I've saved a lot of people's managers' butts when it's crunch time. So let me know, and let me know when I have that chance and that opportunity. You know,
Myke, I would literally look at him in the face and tell him on that demo car to get my tools out on that lot. I'd tell him to go get. I'd say I'm going to go get the keys for this.
Yeah.
Let me tell you guys something, okay? In business, it takes balls, and anything worth having is worth losing. So there comes to a point where you're going to say, either I'm taking this or they're kicking me out.
Yep. Well, like I said,
and honestly, most of those guys will shrivel up and walk away.
Oh, they will shrivel. No, I have never had anybody, when I got that forceful with them, kick me out.
Yeah.
And I did it to.
But I'm talking about the other Dentech. Most of the time, they'll go like, "Oh, I lost that account," and they don't even try.
They don't even try to come back, man.
I'm only getting $35 a car. I'm done with them.
Yeah, that's the point, though. That's what I'm saying. It's like I said, that's some advice to, if you want to go for the wholesale account, then by all means, good luck. I mean, really, I wish you all the luck in the world. You got to be a good salesman. I think that's for sure. For sure. I mean, you really do have to know and like it.
Or cheap.
Yeah, and if you want to cut your throat and go cheap, then it's not going to get any better if you start cheap. You're good luck getting it up higher. If you start out low, it's really.
I think one tool though that I think will help you get your prices up if you're doing that is if you get Mobile Tech RX. One, because I am using it with the few body shops I have, and it's shaving my time down.
I know, but
I don't have to go.
Daniel, I'm going to be realistically. You're not going to be able to use that shit in the friggin' dealerships for daily panels. It's not going to happen. It's not going to work. I mean,
why?
Because they're gonna say, I don't care what kind of crap you have to make me say that I'm gonna pay your prices. That's why I'm a manager.
I'm just saying it's going to save you time of being on that.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Because you can email the.
God. Oh, I thought you were saying use that as a tool to raise your prices. That's what I thought you said.
No. I'm just saying it will save you time.
Yeah.
And then, I would definitely try to get R&I times.
Yeah.
I can do this stamp, but I got to get R&I times. You don't think so? So
I apologize to everybody if I feel like I'm being like a toad or a turd today, but it just pisses me off when it comes
to keep trying, man. Keep raising those prices. Educate your other guys. Try to get them to listen to the shows. If you can get all the dent guys together and say, hey, if we all raise our prices together, then we all win.
I tell you where you can. Go ahead, Vince. What?
The good thing is we're going to have Paul Corden on here in about a week or two.
Yeah.
And he's going to tear us apart with this conversation.
I'm looking forward to it. He knows. We know Paulie. I was his roommate, man. So,
he's going to make us all think about it. You know what I mean? We're going to be scratching our heads like, wow, that Paul Corden makes some sense, doesn't it?
That's because he's got a velvet tongue, man.
He does make sense. But, I make more sense about where I think the money's at, and that's the retail. So, and it always will be. And nobody can argue with me about that. So
no, we don't argue because we're all doing it.
Yeah, true. That's my point. Here's all four of us guys. None of us do well. I'm not going to say I still have 4 good accounts, but they're all plus 20+ year accounts though, guys, except for one. Okay, and they came to me. They asked me to service their account, so I don't go after accounts. But I'm just saying, if you look, go after the wholesale accounts. Listen to what Paul Corden's going to have in a couple of weeks that we're going to put him on here. I think he was on PDR Tool, PDR College. He did his thing over there. I'm not sure if that was it the same topic about what we're talking about, or is this a different one?
It's different, I think.
He was basically just talking about pricing.
Was it wholesale or just retail?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. Well, so it will be a whole unique topic, basically.
Yeah. We need to just focus on wholesale on this one because we got to nail this down. We're all across the board on it. Got our. I'm like you guys. I'd rather. I don't know. I'd rather.
I think
something than do a wholesale.
I think it needs to come down to having industry standards, and the more guys that start adopting industry standards, it'll trickle down.
I'm going to see if I can get Jeremy Carroll on here. That guy he has a lot of wholesale accounts and does mainly a lot. So I'm going to see if I can get him on here along with John Hiley. Paul Corden.
We'll see if John Hiley will get on here. I don't know. He's kind of hard to get on this show, but
there's Keith Starling is kind of known for his salesmanship too.
Okay, well, whoever we can grab. So, all right, guys, we are getting out of here. Any tech tips, or we kind of we're going over? What's up? Okay, we're going. All right.
I think I gave a long tech tip on how to get into a car dealer.
Daniel, we'll save it. So my name is Myke Toledo. I'm along with Daniel Grom. Look at Daniel. Hey, you guys, he's giving me such an evil eye. He's like, I wanted to give my tech tip.
Join that revolution.
Vince D'Alessandro.
Level up your tools.